So this time I'm going to show you how to adapt a single-use camera lens on my A73 body. Let's get started. So first of all, you need to have some basic understanding of how a lens works. So lens basically, the light, it have a focal point. I don't know what it's called, but it just projects like reverse image right here. So here's something called a French distance. This means lens mount to the sensor. If you put the sensor right here, the image will be blurred. If you put the sensor behind the correct distance, the image will be blurred too. So what you're gonna do is have a fixed distance between the lens mount and the sensor. Look at another example here. For example, this is a DSLR. It's have a mirror here, so it bounces the light to the optical viewfinder so we can see. When it's taking a picture, the lens will lift up and the light will go to the sensor. So the flange distance of the DSLR is this much. Compared to a mirrorless camera, the flange distance is this much. So basically, lenses are designed for specific lens mount for that camera. But you can adapt DSLR lens with mirrorless camera. You just need to add a certain distance here. You can use this lens on this camera, which will be look like this. Because you may make the design of a DSLR like with the same French distance, the image will be clear instead of blurry. On the other hand, you cannot adapt mirrorless lens to a DSLR because it have a shorter French distance, which will make your image blurry. In this situation, so my French distance is, so I bought 3 of this camera. This is my 3rd one, and the lens I'm using right now is my 2nd one. So the first one I dissected, so I completely open it and see this, because this doesn't have the indicator of where the film go through, so I just measure it by my hand. So the distance will be, I actually see the film it's pass around here. So the French distance of this lens will be here to here. It's around 3 centimeters somehow. I actually didn't measure it, but yeah. Sorry. Okay. On the second hand, the French distance of a Sony mirrorless start from here to here. We see around 2 centimeters, right here to the orange part. 2 centimeters. That means I only need to add 1 centimeter to mount this lens to here. See this graph? Basically it's telling this is 3 centimeter, this is 2 centimeter. I need to add 1 centimeter here to make this lens usable and produce sharp image. So the characteristic of this lens, it's a f11 to f8, or I didn't measure the real f stops, but I can tell from my different tests it's around f11. So basically this is a small aperture lens. It means it does not have bokeh, does not have background blur. It's using hyperfocus. I believe there's some words. So your aperture is smaller and you get everything that's in focus. And actually you need to do some macro adjustment for the lens to where it focus, because you see even it's here. Things can be moving, right? and the distance of here has to be changed too. So basically, a focus system, it just moves the lens back and forth. But unfortunately, this is my first prototype. I just super glue my lens on it. So, but I'm so lucky that it's dead on and focus at the infinity. So basically, what I did here is I used a lens cap. I drew a hole and I super glue it, because the lens cap here, it's exactly the distance I want. So basically, oh crap. This is the same distance. If you cannot tell, like you know where the lens is, it's very close, I would say. So this is how I do it.